Hello. It's that time to check in, tap in, feel in, inside, internally, in our mind spaces, in our heart spaces, in all of the spaces. Okay. And see what messages are for us today. What messages can help guide us, can help give us insight, direction, a thinking point, inspiration, little seeds we can plant in our garden and see if something beautiful grows. Okay. Let's check in with the Octurians first and see what kind of message they have for us to start today's reading. If you're here and returning, thank you. It's nice to see you, and I hope you are getting many things that are helpful for you in these readings. Okay, because I love doing them for us. Yes, for us. Okay, let's see this one. Duality. The energy of duality helps you make peace with your inner duality. It helps you live in balance, oneness, and harmony so you can continue on your path to a cosmic consciousness. It helps you discover life through enjoyment and play. Okay, the duality of all things, the balance of all things, right? Life, death, release, receive, light, dark, shadow, light, sorry, we already went there. And all the dichotomies, there are so many. Okay, this one is intention. The energy of intention helps you to confirm your choices, trust the choices you make, and know that they are simply the best for you. Okay, it's one thing to have an intention, set an intention, but it's another thing to hold it, believe it, trust it, release it, knowing that it will be. Okay. And connected. The energy of connected helps you to connect your heart with your higher self and listen to your inner wisdom. Okay, and this is kind of that feeling and acting, right? That balance, the duality between checking in with your heart with what resonates, what feels right for you, and then setting an intention towards that end or goal or whatever it is that you're intending for yourself, right? Checking in with self first, with the heart space, not the mind, because we can think ourselves out of, around, and into all kinds of things, right? But we are talking about duality. Hi. And so duality is also, there's a time and a place to act. There's a time and a place to think. There's a time and a place to feel. And this is about finding that balance and even setting the intention towards or around that, like my intention is to find balance between my heart and my head, the things I feel and the things I do. Okay, let's see what runes want to come and support, add, confirm. Gibo, which is perfect because Gibo talks about divine union, right? Which is the duality. Oh, that's not it. This is it. The balance between the masculine and feminine is a dualistic. Okay, the swan knows the gift of lasting love, joining with their partner. They exchange a promise and a bond of fidelity, allegiance, and trust. Okay, and that's that. The balance between the masculine and feminine within. That's what's happening, right? It's an allegiance with self, honoring both aspects, right? It's like, you integrate your shadow after the healing, or the recognizing and the healing and the releasing. There's aspects of your shadow that are integrated in, and it becomes a balancing between the shadow and the light, right? Because we are both the creator and the destroyer. Okay, each lives in the harmonious cycle of giving and receiving while caring for, loving, and protecting the other. Gibo is a beautiful and generous symbol of sacred exchange. To receive, you must also release. When blessed, you should in turn bless. Gibo encourages honoring your commitments and contracts and returning like for like. Union comes in many forms: love, friendship, family, and business. Keywords: gifts, partnership, sacrifice, fair exchange, and honor. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, let's get into it. Oops. Yes, honoring of the self. Honoring. So we've got connected, intention, and balance. Duality. Yeah, you can't exist in life, being a coin and having two sides and then denying that one of your sides exists, right? This is part of doing the shadow work and integrating the shadow. When it's left unawares, it wreaks havoc. It gets out of control. It takes over. It rampages, right? When you integrate it and recognize it as a part of you, now you are in control of your whole self. And so nothing is wreaking havoc. Nothing is, well, unless you choose that for yourself, right? But typically, once you get balanced, you recognize um, the universal give and take and realize that what you put out comes back to you. And so, you choose to not put out things that are going to come back to you in a negative way, right? Okay. Let's see what cards going to come in and support us or confirm or add or teach. Seeds, kernels of wisdom we will discover within here. What's going on here? What's happening? Something's happening. Okay. This is happening. Okay. Okay. There it is. Okay, let's start with center. So in yesterday's reading, when this card came up, it came up as something different than it usually does. Usually it comes up as like having an excess and releasing excess, right? But yesterday it came up as having an excess and being in a unique position to share, give a little of your excess to others in order to help them. Okay, so I feel like, well, we'll see. In the light of this duality here, I guess it is both, right? The ability to, I mean, in both scenarios, you are releasing more than you need, right? And whether you are giving it to others or giving it away to, or throwing it away, I guess it's better than throwing away if you can give it away. Okay, anyways. Wow. So we've got the Empress radiating from her heart space. Okay, you see right in the center there, we've got some radiating happening. She's holding the frequency. She is the Queen of Queens, right? The high goddess, the mother. And this is earth prosperity. This is slow, steady growth that leads to fruitful abundance. Okay, which is why we have this generations, right? Takes time, and this growth of this tree takes time, and bearing fruit takes time, but it's at that point now. There is this generational line, there is this abundant tree, and it is bearing much, much fruit. So this is connected and intention here. We'll just revisit that. Okay, and then we have the Five of Swords. So this is the dedication, steady dedication, okay, and not veering off the course here. This gives me like samurai vibes, and the samurai way, right? It's an honorable, devout dedication. Okay, but because it's a five, and fives are kind of right at that center point between either moving up or moving down, right? And I feel like this is that balance. That's that balance point. And then we have the Ace of Wands. This is the spark of creation. This is this new idea. This is the newness that is here. Okay. We've got transformation and justice. So this dedication and holding your heart center vibe here. This is a justice and the transformation. It's a receiving of justice, but it's also like a recognition that your actions, your dedication to the transformation is what creates the justice for you. It's what determines what your justice looks like, right? It's like exactly that. What you put out there, you get back. And you've been putting out love, the heart space. Okay, so you're getting that back. Okay, so this is thoughts, right? Your mental spaces. And again, with the Empress here, part of her job, it's not that she's not thinking anything. She's just not allowing the thoughts that dull her shine to have any airtime. Okay, and that's why this King of Swords is here, because this is the discernment king. This is the king who cuts away all the thoughts that are disempowering, right? Cuts away all the energetic ties that are draining, cuts away all of the toxic patterns that are not serving. Okay, and your ability to do this was part of what you transformed. You're part of your transformation process, right? You have to be able to connect in a devoted way with yourself in order to be able to see, feel, taste, touch, tell, know what isn't for you, right? Okay, so this is the balancing, this is the centering, this is the grounding, and the balancing of your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual realms. Okay, we've got and you're grounding in that meditative position here, and this is experiences along the way leading you back to your intuition. Okay, and it's also a recognition of how important that process is, especially if you are if the goal is to become an overflowing cup, right? Then these are all your past versions of self that you needed to leave behind, release, for new versions to be born, right? And it's that process of becoming the overflowing cup. Okay, and then we have the Page of Pentacles. This is your ability to manifest what you wish for. Okay, and that's kind of the benefit, the perk, one of the perks of transforming, balancing, intending, being at peace with your duality and making connections with your heart space, being connected with your heart space. It allows you the ability to manifest your wishes. Okay, so that's cool. What else we got here? Let's see. Let's ask for further clarification here. We've got the Eight of Swords. So this is that ability to create boundaries. Okay, I want to put this here because it's boundaries around your thoughts, the ones that don't serve, and versions of self. You know, there are many comfortable versions that are hard to walk away from, right? We become complacent in a way to a version of self that's close enough. And this is part of the discernment of the King of Swords, is to recognize, and the constant transformation. It's like you transform enough that you start to recognize the benefit of continual transformation, right? But every once in a while we come up against complacency. Like we just want to, we just transform? Can we just stay here for a while? It's good enough. It's close enough, right? But that's not why we're here. We're here to live life, to grow continuously, and to see and discover the extent of our potential in our growth. It's also about the boundaries around your thoughts, right? Being able to set clear boundaries and the recognition of those things that aren't serving you, those thoughts that are obsessive or make you feel less than, right? The doubts. Okay, and then we have the work here. And my throat chakra just did a thing. So it's telling me like these are your chakra centers. And this transformative work and balancing is also about clearing your chakras. Okay, chakras are your, if you don't know, the like little energy centers that run throughout our body. And when you have a clear, consider them like pools of water, right? And if one or more are plugged, then the water isn't flowing smoothly, fluidly through everything. It's getting gunked up, it's getting stuck, right? And stuck energy doesn't serve us. And so the idea is to ungunk your pools so that the water flows freely. And that is what the Empress does. This is that maintaining a flow from your heart, right? Like say your heart is spilling out, but your sacral chakra, the one right below it is, or is that the one right below it? I think so. Anyways, the chakra below it or the chakra above it, if they are blocked, then the energy from the heart isn't flowing throughout either direction, right? It's just kind of staying in there, and stuck energy stagnates, gets confused, causes physical ailments, really. I think that's also the connection to acupuncture. Acupuncture is, because we have way more than just those 7 chakras that run through the body. Those are just the main central ones. There are little vortexes of energy that run all around our bodies. And the acupuncture points are those areas where it's like a little energy port. And when we get energy stuck in spots, the idea is tapping in and releasing energy with the needles, right? Or sometimes putting energy in to get things moving, depending on what you need. Okay, and then maybe this is a confirmation of that, because if this is your heart and it's overflowing, into all these other cups, right? But I feel like for me, this the 7 of Cups, because I just mentioned 7 chakras, but it's also you as an overflowing cup. Um, your overflow spills over into all those around you. Okay, and there's something to do with luck here. We've got the horseshoe that's pouring out, so it's kind of making me feel like this, an excess of reserves that you are able to share with those around you. Okay, and it's connected here to the experiences, the old versions of self, the ability to release, to keep moving forward towards your intuition, and this balancing of all of your things, right? So this could be speaking about sharing what you know, sharing your journey, sharing your experiences of transforming, of creating boundaries around your mind to produce and intend and manifest. Okay, I'm not sure if those are, I mean, it's all connected, but you know what I mean. Okay, what else have we got here? Got a stack of them. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles. And this is duality. This is balancing of duality in a card right there. Okay, then we have the Eight of Wands. So this is fast moving energy. There's some red in the background, so it's fast and passionate. This is your wishes, so you're speaking of your desires, okay, like a vision board. And this is my wish fish speaking into the cup. This is the intention, the things that you put into your cup to fill it to become the overflowing cup, right? And you need to fill it with love and compassion and joy and laughter and creativity, all the high vibrating frequency stuff. Okay, that's why it's important to guard your thoughts and also what you speak. Okay, if you see, she's got these bubbles coming out of her mouth there. Then we have the Five of Cups. So this is consolidating your energy. This is about releasing those things that aren't serving and putting more of your energy into the things that are. Okay, and then we have the spiritual garden here, right beside the physical garden, the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. So this is your energetic garden. This is your spiritual tapped in-ness. Okay, like this figure here. They've got the sacral. Oh, I need to figure out its root. Sacral? No, there's 3 there. What are they? Why am I forgetting? Why am I forgetting these things? Anyways, there's your third eye one, and then your there's also like a star soul chakra above your head, and then there's one under the ground, the earth chakra. And we're connected to them all, right? And this is that communication. This is that connectivity. And then your Nine of Pentacles. This is your independence. This is your sovereignty. You're standing in your own fruits of your labor, right? This is vigor standing in their garden. And there's like these wings here, so they're connected to the angelic realms and the fairy realms, right? The whimsical, the magical, very fertile, very fertile. Okay, so the balancing of the things, I feel like this is that dedication and also this justice, right? Your ability to balance and this fast moving energy. I feel like because of your transformation and your mastery of discernment, it's adding to, you know, your spark of creations or sparks of inspirations and epiphanies and stuff like that, and your abundance. Okay, this speaking and intending, I feel like that is also connected to the things that you want. No, this goes here. It's attached to what you think and your process of becoming an overflowing cup, right? Because you are the active or unconscious, depending, creator of self, unveiler of self. Okay, and this consolidating of your energy, I feel like that is somewhere over here, because I feel like once you consolidate, once you start to make sure that your focus is flowing into the things that are working for you and not the other things that are kind of half there, I feel like that's going to open up a faster flow, right? Just think of rivers and rivulets, right? You block those rivulets and that main river gets stronger. Okay, and then there's this balance. We got the 2 nines, and it's a balance between your physical and your spiritual. So I feel like this is here interchangeably, because it's this constant balance, right? This is the work. The work isn't just spiritual work, it's also physical. So these can go either way. This is the boundaries around your self, your mind, and your physical spaces, like your safe space, your garden can represent your safe space, right? And your spiritual space, your quiet moments of reflection and tapping into heart. It's not a group activity. It can be utilized as a group, but the intention behind group activities is more of a group um, intention. Like you can put many people together who hold the same intention to like send out a ripple of love across the world, right? And the more people in a group connecting their energetic fields with holding the same intention, that ripple is very powerful and far reaching, more so than a single person doing the same thing. So don't get me wrong about groups and meditation, but this is your process of becoming a holder of your heart space and a manifester of your intentions, right? And balancing. Okay, the Ace of Pentacles. This is your wishes becoming manifested. This is the process of becoming the receiver of your wishes. And I feel like that is here. This is like picking the fruit from, or catching the fruit falling from this abundant tree here. Okay, and being able to discern, to recognize that this is a yummy, yummy one. That's going to be very good for you. And there's the World card. So the world, speaking about rippling out into the world, this is also an example of that what goes around comes around, right? The world is always spinning. It also has this figure at the center of the world living their best life, right? So this is also a recognition that you are in control of your world. The thoughts that you choose for yourself, right? I mean, because we are tuners and there are tons of frequencies floating around us constantly, not all of your thoughts are yours, right? Not all of your thoughts are meant for you. And you, with your free will, choose which thoughts you claim as yours, which thoughts you hold on to, which thoughts become part of the story you tell, the creation of the new version of you. It's also giving me that what goes around comes around too, right? Like that confirmation of what you put out there comes right back. It's reminding me of the story of it's a Dr. Seuss story, and it's like the Big Brag, it's called, and it was about these two creatures comparing and competing. It was like one had the eyesight and one could hear, and they were like, I could hear down the street, around the corner, and 3 blocks, and I could see further than that. And they keep going, further, and then somebody who's overhearing the conversation comes up and is like, well, I can see and hear all the way around the world, and I can see these two people wasting their time talking about like something like that. I totally didn't do it justice, but if you're curious, go check that out. It's a good story. I don't even remember how it's relevant anymore. Hey, I just put out there what comes to me and we see what happens, right? A lot of times I don't even remember until I watch it later and I'm like, oh, right. Oh, I said that. Because that's what channeling is about, right? It's like you become a conduit. Well, I guess that kind of supports this idea of the thoughts and what you choose, right? That's what channelers are doing. They're tuning in to higher frequencies and relaying what they receive while they're there. Okay. Okay, I'll go through one more time in this deck. You want to come out and add to this reading, confirm or otherwise, before we move on to a new deck. Yeah, it felt like it was done. Okay, let's get a wild unknown. Oracle deck. The pocket size, so that I can actually hold the cards. They make these cards so big sometimes. Okay. Who wants to come out? Okay. Quite a few, apparently. So we've got buffalo, which is beautiful, because buffalo came out yesterday also. We've got bat and octopus. And these two over here, mouse and wolf. Okay. So we'll read buffalo. Oh, wolf came out first. Okay, guardian of family and tribe, activism and ritual. The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. When in balance, it's reliable, democratic, and fearless. When out of balance, judgmental and dominating. To bring into balance, practice letting go. Okay, so there's that balancing of the wolf energy. We can, like as a parent, say, you can have all the intention of being protective or loving or caring, but unless we're in balance with also allowing, we can easily become overbearing, controlling, judgmental, right? And that doesn't serve the child, no matter how great our intention is. So check in with the heart space, and are you doing things to try to control a situation, or is it for the greatest and highest good, right? Sometimes you need to allow the kid to fall off the bike to feel what it's like to get up, right? And to succeed even after falling. Okay, and then we have the mouse. Detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, and nervous. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. When in balance, organized, resourceful, and prepared. When out of balance, busy with no purpose, and to bring into balance a meaningful project. Okay, so I feel like, these two did come out together. The wolf and the mouse, they were over on the side here. So this is exactly the two energies, both earth energies as well. This is the grounding balance here, okay, that I was just talking about with intention and control. Okay, octopus, a reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that's what is meant to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. Okay, this is giving me that boundary setting vibes over here. When in balance, interested, engaged, and intelligent. When out of balance, needy, clingy, and lacks courage. And to bring into balance, space to oneself and talk therapy. Okay. Then we have Zabat. Darkness, letting go, death leading to rebirth. Before emerging, the bat waits for the sun to set and the moon to rise. In the darkness, it can see all that was invisible in the daylight hours. The bat is a master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and others to fade. The bat card shows us to signify the end of a chapter, the closing of a door. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on. In just a few hours, a new day dawns, no more lingering in the past. When in balance, accepts, adapts, and adjusts. When out of balance, refuses to let go and reminisces. And to bring into balance, watch the sunrise. Okay, this is that discernment of what to cut away, what to release, what is no longer serving. To free up space, energy for the new to come in. Okay, and the buffalo, grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. Okay, there's our balancing. Buffalo. The hooves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth, yet its heart and mind rise towards heaven. The buffalo sees challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eyes look to the road ahead, trusting every turn. May we all experience this elusive yet life-changing bliss from time to time, and may we allow this card to remind us that life is a precious gift. When in balance, trusting in pure presence. When out of balance, restless and lacks gratitude. To bring into balance, prayer. and bhakti, which I still haven't looked up yet. Oh, I will write it down, and maybe I will remember to look it up. Bhakti. Okay. Let's get a crystal card today. Feels like a crystal card kind of day. A little more clarity here. So this is talking about the balancing of all the things, right? There's a sweet spot. You can't be too detail oriented. You can't be thinking too much about everybody. There has to be a balance, and there has to be an allowance of everybody to be able to think for themselves as well, right? And right with the octopus too, balance between being helpful and being needy, right? And then that tells us about there's a time and a place. And trust. The buffalo is trust. This is that guarding of your thoughts, choosing your thoughts wisely. When a bump in the road happens, you choose how you respond to it. And if you're holding this love frequency constantly connected to your heart, then these things are not happening to you, they're happening for you to learn, for you to rest, for you to grow, for you to perceive, right? It's all lessons. Even if it's an opportunity to allow you to release control and see that you still survive. Things still work out, even when you're not pretending or perceiving yourself as controlling everything. Okay. 29 is growth, courage, strength, and flexibility. You are a growth-seeking being, experiencing, interacting, and learning by virtue of your life experience. Is there a circumstance within your life that feels outside of your control? That's funny. Transformational growth and deep emotional healing can be gained by observing the underlying patterns occurring in the events around you. These situations, through the law of attraction, are a result of your conscious or unconscious creation. Accepting this truth provides motivation to examine and release any beliefs or habits preventing you from experiencing a life of joy, understanding, and gratitude. The opportunity for growth is at hand. Look beyond your conditioned responses and explore the gifts and knowledge this situation has to offer. Your heart sings with joy at the opportunity to realize your deep spiritual growth. Beautiful. That's what the confirmation looks like. Okay. I'm gonna get a kitty card here because the kitties are so wise. Let's see what they want to add or confirm in this reading. Speaking of kitties, I just saw Jared walk by. Neighborhood cat. Threshold. Meet Sage. She is the queen of the threshold. In or out or in. She lingers right at the borderlines between borderland. Glancing back, she takes stock of everything she's cherished, everything that has challenged and interested her, and everything that has weighted her down and limited her. She peeks her nose through the door and smells the fresh air of possibility with a swirl of exhilaration and a hint of fear. Perhaps she even dipped toes through a few times, only to return to her old world for a while. Find peace at the threshold, but don't surrender to the turn back now gargoyles that guard the gateway. When you are ready, you will stride boldly into your new world. Nice. Okay. Well, I think that may be the reading, although I just picked up this little deck, so we'll see what little guys come out. If any of the little guys want to come out. One, strength. Yes. This is that benefit of creating momentum. This is that consolidating your energy. Where your energy flows, your energy grows, right? And so by consolidating, you are increasing the strength of the energy and more able and likely to manifest the things that you want, especially when you're holding the things that you want, speaking them, seeing them, visualizing them, right? Vision boards, mantras, all of these things are about holding the frequency of the ideal in your mind. This is why you cut away the thoughts that don't serve you, right? The thoughts that make you feel less than. Those are rivulets that take away from this flow. Okay. Okay, we got a growth confirmation here. How do you fertilize your growth? Okay. We've got a world confirmation here. The world is your oyster, and you are the pearl. Every experience that you have had has shaped you into this beautiful, priceless gem. Okay, the hermit, this is part of the transformation process of going within. right? Freeing yourself, quieting, creating safe sanctuary space for yourself to tune in to the heart. Okay, and this is the devil, the doubts and fears, the things that the adversaries. This is the grit in your oyster that you choose to transmute into a pearl. Okay, and this is also the balance, like the shadow and the light. These two things are two sides of the same coin. And there needs to be an integration and a recognition of it in order to take its power away from using you instead of you using it. Okay, and there's the wheel of fortune turning in your favor over by the strength here. Okay, this is a spark, creative spark and idea. When you quiet those disempowering thoughts, you leave space for connection to inspiration. Okay, there's the reading for today. I hope there was some good stuff for you in there and that you feel a little bit better to move along your day and just be aware and mindful and find balance in all of the things and constantly check in with your heart space and be aware of, what you're tuning into and if it's serving or not, right? Okay. There you go. Good luck on your journey, on your growth, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you. The world appreciates you, and maybe see you next time. Love ya. Bye.